come to a comfortable seated position, cross-legged or kneeling. And as you find that comfortable seat, close the eyes. For those first few moments of the practice, there's nothing you have to worry about achieving or accomplishing. It's enough to be on your mat. Breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Place the left hand over your heart, right hand over your belly. And as you start to notice the flow of breath coming in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling expansion of your torso with the inflow, contraction with the outflow. Waving back and forth between filling up and emptying out. If it's helpful to you, assigning a count to your breath, counting 3 in and 3 out. Activating Ujjayi or ocean breath, slight constriction in the back of the throat. Notice the space you already have today before any movement's added in. Take one more breath together, fill all the way up. Open your mouth, sigh out that breath. Connecting palms in prayer at heart center, thumbs rest into the sternum. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Something you can carry with you off your mat later on. We'll start our time together to the sound of a single Om. Inhale. Blink the eyes open, roll forward into a tabletop position. In that tabletop position, turn the hands so the thumbs face forward and the fingertips face the edges of your mat. So you end up making a bit of a crab with your hands. Beginning to draw circles with your torso, massaging out the wrists. They don't have to be really big circles. They might start a bit smaller and then grow bigger and bigger as you start to feel more comfortable in the wrist. Start to change direction. And then come back to neutral. Nice. Turn your hands so the fingertips face your knees, thumbs face the outer edge of the mat. Fingertips face the knees, thumbs face the outer edge of the mat. If you have to, you can always walk the knees a bit closer towards the fingertips. Toes can untuck. If you have it in your wrist, you start to sit back, hips towards the heels, stretching wrist flexors. You don't have to go all the way down to sitting. You might stay a bit lifted just in case you're feeling like there's some tightness there. One more inhale. And as you exhale, you can shift forward, shake out one wrist, shake out the other. Take the knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch the back of the mat. Child's pose, Balasana. In your child's pose, settle into the mat for a moment here. Less effort, a little bit more passive. So we feel that connection between torso and thighs, the length of your spine, the length of your arms. Start to push a little bit more firmly into the palms. And then walk the hands just slightly off the right side of the mat. Doesn't have to be very far. Far enough that we notice a side bend in the left side. Take an inhale into the ribs and shoulder. Then use the exhale, walk the hands back through center, just slightly off the left side of your mat. Breathing into the ribs and shoulder on right side body. You can come back through center on an exhale, lift the hips high enough to tuck the toes. Shift the hips up and back. Find your first downward facing dog. In that downward facing dog, maybe the knees stay a little bit more bent, keeping the spine tall. The arms nice and long. Give the head a little shake, not a yes, shake a no. Release the tension in your jaw, your neck, your face. Take a big breath in through the nose. As you exhale, tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat. No rush to get there. When you arrive at the top of the mat, inhale, roll up to stand. Head comes up last, finding Tadasana, mountain pose.
Grounding into your feet, breathe in, lift your arms up.
Exhale, hinge and fold over the legs.
When you breathe in, come up to a halfway lift.
Exhale, place the palms, step the feet back and lower the knees down to the floor, tabletop.
Take an inhale here.
And on the exhale, we're finding a bit of a cow back, lowering chest and chin all the way down to the floor. Bum stays lifted.
Good. Untuck your toes, breathe in, come into cobra.
On the exhale, releasing carefully back down towards the floor.
When you inhale, come back to tabletop, breathe.
And exhale, downward facing dog. Sit bones lifting up. Pedal out the heels. Feel the back of the legs tell you a story. From the calves to the hamstrings to the back of your hips.
Next time you breathe in, start to look forward.
Exhale, bend the knees, take a big step or jump to the top of the mat.
Come to a halfway lift, inhale.
And exhale to fold.
Lift all the way up, breathe in, stretch.
Use the exhale, hip hinge and fold all the way over the legs.
Breathe in, halfway lift.
Exhale, place the palms, step the feet back and lower the knees down to the floor, tabletop.
Breathe in, arch your spine.
On the exhale, lower chest and chin all the way down towards the floor.
Untuck your toes, inhale, slide to cobra.
Use the exhale to carefully release the torso back down to the mat.
Breathe in, tabletop.
And exhale to downward facing dog.
Breathe here. Keep the sit bones lifted. Make sure you're spreading the weight in your palms. Next time you inhale, start to look forward.
Exhale, bend the knees, step or jump to the top of the mat.
Halfway lift, inhale.
Exhale to fold over the legs.
Lift all the way up, breathe in, stretch.
One more cycle. Exhale, hinge and fold all the way over the legs.
Breathe in, halfway lift.
Exhale, place the palms, step the feet back, lower the knees down to the floor, tabletop.
Breathe in, cow spine.
Exhale, lower chest and chin down towards the mat.
When you inhale, come to cobra, slide forward, lift your heart.
Exhale, carefully releasing the torso back down to the floor.
Tabletop, breathe in.
And on the exhale, downward facing dog. Give me a little pedal. Nod your head yes, shake it no.
Next time you breathe in, look forward.
Exhale, bend the knees, step or jump, top of the mat.
Halfway lift, inhale.
And exhale to fold.
Lift all the way up, breathe in.
Exhale, draw palms through prayer, Samasthiti, Tadasana. Nice, so big toes touching, knees hug in. Inhale, bend the knees. Reach the arms up, chair pose. Utkatasana. In that chair pose, try to sink a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. And if you need to stay up a bit more, stay up. Feel the inner thighs engaged, the knees squeezing together. Big breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Halfway lift to extend. Exhale, place the palms, step the feet back, plank. From your plank position, push the floor away, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Sweep the arms back behind you, palms face up. Inhale, peel up chest and chin. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift up chest, chin, arms and legs. Exhale, lower back down. And once more, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Slide the palms under your shoulders. Press yourself up to tabletop. And then with the knees together, the toes untucked, sink the hips towards the heels. Slide the palms so they're face up next to the feet. Modified child's pose. If you need to, you can always grab a blanket or a block, place it underneath the forehead, giving your body a little bit more support. Breathe space into the space between your shoulder blades, the upper back, the mid back, and your low back. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, take the hands under the shoulders to push and sit up into a kneeling shape. In that kneeling shape, interlace the hands behind the back. Take the big fist towards your left hip. Pull the left elbow in. Now, as you're pulling the elbow in, start to lower left ear towards the left shoulder, lengthening the right side of your neck. You can turn the chin down, access a bit more of the back of the neck, turn the chin up, feeling the front of the neck. Dial in your stretch of cervical spine. One more inhale. Exhale, carefully come up through center. You can roll the shoulders forward and back.
And if sitting like this doesn't work for you, you can always sit cross-legged or extend your legs out in front of you.
For sure. Reach the arms back behind you, interlace the fingers the other way, other thumb on top. Big fist goes over to the right hip, right elbow hugs in. Left ear moves away from the left shoulder as you lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. Lengthening the left side of the neck. Yes, very exciting, Abby. I know. You can turn the chin down or up, whatever the case may be. Give yourself that stretch you need. Some of the tension that we're starting to bring into the neck, letting it go. One more inhale. And exhale to release, back up through center. Shift forward, plant the palms, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up, three-leg dog. Exhale, knee to the nose. Carefully step the foot in between the hands and lower the left knee down to the floor. And if you need, you have sensitive knees, take a blanket, put that underneath the knee. Inhale, come up, hands to the hips. Exhale to press the hips forward. That right knee staying pretty much over the right ankle. Arms reach up, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, cactus with the arms. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, cactus. One more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Release the hands down to the floor. Pick up that back knee, moving the blanket out of the way. Step the left foot to meet the right. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Big toes touch, knees hug in as you inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms up, chair pose. Utkatasana. Maybe sink a little deeper, a little deeper, a little deeper. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, hinge and fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, place palms, step or jump the feet back, high plank, push the floor away, lower all the way down to your belly. Reach the arms back behind you, palms face up. Inhale, lift chest, chin, arms, and legs. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. And last time, inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Palms by the shoulders, press up the tabletop. Knees go wide, hips shift back. Child's pose, Balasana. In this child's pose, walk the palms connect in prayer near the top of the mat. Elbows push into the floor at shoulder width. Bending the elbows, send the thumbs back towards the back of the neck, space between shoulder blades, wherever it can get to. You're either kind of passive here, just resting the elbows into the floor, driving the elbows into the mat and trying to drag yourself forward by the elbows. One more big breath. And as you release the breath, release the arms, pushing into the palms, walk them back towards your knees, come into a kneeling shape. Once you're in that kneeling shape, if kneeling isn't comfortable for you, sit on a block or sit cross-legged, totally fine. Take the hands, interlace the fingers, take the hands behind the head, very gentle pressure, pushing the chin forward, 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 letting the chin come closer towards the sternum. It's just gentle pressure, not too much. In fact, if you get enough just by tucking the chin towards the chest, that might be enough. You can even just use one hand and access some of the tension you're holding right at the back of the neck.
And I find when you push your head into your hands, adding a little bit of resistance, you can actually feel more of that stretch moving down towards the space between your shoulder blades. And instead of pressing down in your hands actually kind of pull upwards a little bit, away from your neck.
Tractioning the neck,
yeah.
Exactly.
And then pushing your head into your hands just gently.
Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, carefully release. Nice, so you can look over one shoulder, the other shoulder. So no hands for this one, just touching the teeth together. So getting the teeth to touch, don't have to clench the jaw. Lift the chin up. The chin lifts away from the sternum, lengthening the front of the neck here. The throat elongates. Shouldn't feel a crunchiness at the back of the neck. We're thinking length at the front of the neck. One more inhale. And exhale to release. You can look over one shoulder and the other shoulder. Roll forward, plant the palms, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up, 3-legged up. Exhale, knee to the nose. Carefully step the foot in between the hands and lower the right knee down to the floor. Pad the knee with a blanket if you need it. Inhale, hands to the hips. And exhale to press the hips forward. That left knee staying over the ankle, more or less. Arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, cactus with the arms. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, cactus. And one more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus. Release the hands down to the floor, pick up the back knee. Step the right foot to meet the left. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Big toes touch, knees hug in as you inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms up, chair pose. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, Samasthiti, Padasana.
All right, from here, grounding into your feet, you'll breathe in, lift the arms up again. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Place your hands down, feel free to walk, step, or hop your feet back. Come into your Chaturanga, lowering without going to touch the mat. Inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, send your hips up. From your downward dog, we'll lift the right leg up again. We'll bend the right knee, point the right knee up towards the ceiling, push your right foot towards the left side of the room. Try to not let your right hand get too light. Press more firmly into the right palm, lifting the right knee up higher. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward, bring it between your palms. Ground your back heel, come into warrior one. Bend the front knee, inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, open up warrior two. Reverse your warrior, inhale, reach your right arm up and back. And when you exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat. Lift your back heel up, grab your blocks if you need to, push your hips back. Let the right leg start to straighten, but don't force it to straighten all the way. As usual, give your body a bit of time. If you haven't been able to practice a lot lately, you might notice that your body will feel a little different in these familiar poses. Jonathan and I for sure have been sitting a lot more at home, so everything just feels a little tighter. We're not getting to walk around as much, staying more indoors, so it's just, it really can affect how we feel in different poses. Next time you breathe in, start to bend your right knee. Move your blocks up to the side, place your palms down, step your right foot back, come into your vinyasa again. Make modifications if you need. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. Look forward, breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Full forward, breathe out. Lift all the way up, inhale. Release your arms, exhale. Legs are together, Utkatasana chair, breathe in, bend your knees. Exhale, place your palms in prayer in front of your chest. Lean forward, push into your hands. Your right foot will stay. You're going to squeeze your left heel up towards your sit bones. Press into your hands. And then breathing in, lean forward, extend your left leg back. Keep your standing leg bent. And as lightly as you can, place your left toes down. We're going to come back to a high lunge. Breathe in. And then open up warrior two again. Find your Trikonasana, straightening the front leg. Reach your right arm as far forward as you can, placing right hand downwards, left arm lifting up, using a block if you need. Draw the right thigh bone in, arms reaching wide. When you inhale next, using your side core, your obliques, pull yourself back up, bend that right knee. Turn your left toes out, find your Skandasana. Left knee starts to bend, bring your hands down. Welcome to keep your hips nice and high, or you can sink a little lower, just making sure both heels are on the mat. Hands can stay on the mat, they can go into prayer like Jonathan, they can reach wide. You can also bind your left leg if you like here. Breathe. Keeping heels heavy. Next time you inhale, you'll release. Walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Lift your back heel. Left hand stays on the mat. Right arm will lift up, twist. Good. First option, you're just going to stay in this twist. Second option, you can come into a side plank. So moving your right foot all the way back. Third option, you can come into wild thing, bringing your right foot behind you. Lift your hips. Reach your heart up. Right arm towards the floor. When you exhale, slowly release, placing your right hand, right foot back. Come to your plank pose. Chaturanga when you exhale. Up dog or cobra, breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale through the mouth. All right, we'll send the left leg up when we breathe in. Bend your left knee. Point your left knee up towards the ceiling. Pressing your left foot over towards the right side. Try not to let your left hand get too light. Press into both your palms. Take another inhale. As you exhale, step your left foot right between your palms. Ground your back heel, come into warrior one. Breathe in, arms reach up. And as you exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Feel the body, back heel lifts up. So use your blocks if you need, send your hips back. Let the left leg start to straighten. Do your best to try to square the hips. So again, pulling left thigh bone in. Create length in your spine. As you push your hips back, try to lengthen your chest forward. Don't worry about depth of your pose right now, but just creating space. Breathe. It's like Jonathan likes to say, notice the story that your body is telling you as you hold some of these poses. The next time you breathe in, start to bend your left knee. Move your blocks to the side if you have them there. Step your left foot all the way back, plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga. Feel free to use your knees. Breathe into cobra or up dog. And when you exhale, lift your hips up, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. From down dog, when you inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift, breathe in. Full forward, breathe out. Lift all the way up, inhale. Release your arms, exhale. Utkatasana, breathe in. Palms in prayer, breathe out. Lean forward, left foot will stay. Right heel squeezes up. Try not to straighten the left leg. So as you inhale, lean forward, extend your right leg back. It's like warrior three, but keeping your standing leg bent and strong. When you're ready, allow your right toes to lightly come to the back of the mat. So come into a lunge, breathe in, arms reach up. You might need to widen the stance if the foot didn't go all the way back. Open up warrior two. From here, straighten your left leg and reach your left arm forward, Trikonasana. Keeping the left arm light so you're not sinking down, resting into your leg, keeping your obliques strong. Breathe. Try to press more firmly into your back leg so you're not just, again, resting everything into the front of your mat. When you inhale next, pull yourself back up. Bend your left knee first so that you can turn your right toes out. Bend the right knee so to bring your hips down. Breathe. Whatever you want to do here with the hands can stay on the mat in prayer, reaching wide, binding the right leg. So ideally doing the same variation that you did on the other side, unless there's a huge imbalance in the body. But you want to really press into your heels and not sink too much into your butt. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Hands release, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Your right palm will stay next to your left foot, left arm will lift up. First option, you'll stay in your twist. Second option, you can come to a side plank. Third option, you can come through side plank, bring your left foot behind you, coming into a wild thing. Good. Don't sink into your right shoulder. Keep everything feeling light. Next time you exhale, begin to release slowly. Left hand comes back down, left foot goes all the way back. Plank, Chaturanga. Breathe in, up dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose, sigh it out. So first option here, we will bring the knees down, untuck the toes, and come briefly into a child's pose. You can listen from here. So staying in your child's pose, you can take any variation here. Hands reaching forward, you can stack your palms. You can bring your hands underneath your forehead. You can bring your hands by your feet. So just taking a moment here to slow your breath down. Second option, you can come into your Dolphin Plank or Dolphin. So setting up, making sure that elbows are shoulder width apart. So you're grabbing opposite elbows, palms face down or interlaced. Right, so Jonathan here is in Dolphin. Pushing the heels back, reaching your head forward, and trying to keep your ribs in, belly strong. Thighs are squeezing together. All right, so if that's where you are today, great. Stay there, breathe, dig into the elbows, separate your shoulder blades. Second option from here is to walk your feet forward a little bit, lifting your hips up so you're coming into your Dolphin. If you have an inversion, you don't even have to wait for us. You can start to come into it, use a wall if you can safely have wall space somewhere at home. So keeping this really strong, again, squeezing in the legs. Or last option, you can come into a headstand, a forearm stand, maybe even a handstand if that's what you feel like working on today. If your head is on the mat, once again, don't lift up by jumping. You want to lift with control. So Jonathan did the tuck. You can also lift one leg up at a time. You can lift both your legs up. I want you to stay just for a few more breaths. Remember, this is your practice, so at any time if you need to come back into a child's pose, take a break, you're more than welcome to. Those of you who are upside down with a head on the mat, make sure that your neck stays long. Try to pull your shoulders up towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable in your inversion, perhaps find a pike position for the last 3 breaths. If you need to come to a child's pose, you can. Last breath here. If your feet are not on the mat, gently bring them down. We'll all meet in the child's pose. Take any variation of child's pose here. The next time that you breathe in, take a deeper inhale. Sigh it out.
So to slide the hands to the under the shoulders, come up into a kneeling shape. Look over one shoulder, the other. Look up. Look down. And what you notice as you move the neck here is that you're feeling discomfort in your cervical spine and your neck. And you chose the option of a supported headstand with the head on the floor, possibly putting a bit too much weight in the neck, not enough into the shoulders themselves. So consider modifying, asking for help, and we'll try to give it to you. Yeah. All right. So you'll need a couple props for this next shape. We're going to make our transitions slowly into a bit more of a chill, restorative practice. If you have blocks, great. If you don't have blocks, no problem. You can use a cushion you might have nearby. You can use books, really anything. I'll use Queenie's mat because it's actually visible. Mine is kind of hard to see over there. One block will set up actually the length of the spine. One block for the base of the skull. If you'd like, you can always add a bit more cushion, taking a blanket, putting a blanket over top of that first block. Turning around, would you mind demoing for me? Thanks, Queen. Lying back so that the block and the blanket setup begins to support the spine, might touch the shoulder blades, base of the skull finds the second block. Palms face up, a little ways away from the thighs. If you have other variations of supported heart opening shapes that you enjoy using, it might involve using a bolster you have at home, anything like that, you're more than welcome to set up in a supported heart opening, shoulder opening shape. Allowing the body to settle. This transition right here, from effort to ease, one of my favorite transitions in all of yoga. It's that really obvious difference between the body at work and the body at rest. Each of these next shapes that we'll explore, you have time. There's no rush. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Not judging it, but noticing where your attention went when you were left in a bit of stillness. Whether it went to a physical point in the body, your mental state, and emotion. Gently nudge your awareness in the direction of your breath, becoming particularly aware of the top of your inhale. The space across the heart expanding with your inhales. Contracting with the exhales. Still aware of belly and ribs, but bringing extra special attention to the very top of your inhale. Upper chest and collarbone getting pulled longer. One last inhale that expands the torso. Open your mouth, sigh out the breath. Turn your palms so they push down into the floor. Begin to carefully tuck your chin and slowly peel up off the props. No rush whatsoever. Once you're sitting upright, you can turn the head, roll the shoulders, reach back for your props. We're going to take 2 blocks, one on each side. You might keep the blanket nearby for cushion under the base of the skull if you have a blanket. If you don't have blocks, again, pillows, books, pots and pans I've even seen used. Lie all the way down.
It's creative.
Connect the soles of the feet. Let the knees drop out wide. The blocks might be placed underneath the thighs at any height setting so it feels comfortable. The blanket under the base of the skull for a bit of cushion. Rest the palms so that they are face up a little ways away from the thighs. Recline butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. If the palms would be more comfortable, place face down on the hips. You can place them face down on the hips. If you'd enjoy just having the arms reaching back, you can reach the arms back. Really placing the arms anywhere that feels most comfortable for your shoulders, your torso. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Just noticing your breath here, not judging it, but aware of the rhythm, the ratio of inhale to exhale. Apologies for the puppy. Now that you're awake, take a big breath in through your nose, fill all the way up. Open your mouth, sigh out that breath. And wiggling the fingers, move the toes, reach down with the hands, close the legs up like a book. Nice. Keep the knees touching, take the feet a bit wider apart. So there's a slight internal rotation at the head of the femur bone. Counter pose for our butterfly. Oh, Abby, be quiet. Take one more inhale. Open your mouth, let it go. Begin to hug both knees into your chest, wrap the arms around your legs, rock to the left and to the right, massaging the muscles running up and down the spine. So there's a sensation here of massaging, maybe the low back, the mid back, the upper back, depends on your body. Release the left leg, let the left leg float all the way to the top of the mat. Interlacing the fingers over the right shin, hug that right thigh closer to the torso. For some of us, this will be enough. We're pausing right there. For others, bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. Flex the right ankle and catch the outer edge of the foot, half happy baby. In your half happy baby, it's possible that the left knee will stay bent with the sole of the foot on the floor. You can also step that foot forward to the top of the mat and lie flat. Whether you're choosing the full expression of half happy baby, the modified variation, or just knee into your chest with the leg extended. Choose the option that works for you. Shorter hold here. One more inhale. As you release the breath, release the right leg, let it float all the way to the top of the mat. Both legs step long, lie flat. Palms face up, a little ways away from the thighs. Just notice left to right, the balance or imbalance that's readily apparent. Carefully taking that left thigh in towards the chest, interlace the fingers, find the left shin just below the knee and pull the thigh close to your torso. So as you pull it closer, you feel a bit of compression at the front of the left hip, extension through the right. And then making a choice. Feels pretty good here. It's enough. Stay. The other option is to bend the right knee, sole the foot to the floor, flex the left ankle, reach for the outer edge of that left foot, half happy baby with one knee bent. You can also extend that right leg to the top of the mat. That full expression of a half happy baby. All three options work well. They're just a little different. So if you decide, I need to regress that a bit and take the modified variation, or it's really just a bit too much, I'm gonna just hold the shin. It's perfectly acceptable. Left side, right side may need different things. Again, this is a shorter hold. Alright, on your last breath or two, you get to your last exhale, slowly release. Let the left foot float all the way to the top of the mat, lie flat, feeling left side, right side. Noticing the difference here, the balance, the imbalance that's apparent. It's possible to use blocks, but you can also make use of your blanket. Just depends on you. Bend your knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. You can even use just a blanket to place underneath the sacrum. If you have a prop that's ready, lift the hips up. Take that prop underneath the sacrum. Your sacrum is a flat piece of bone below the lower back, above the tailbone. If you decide you need a bit more propping, you just keep adding height until it feels like, yeah, that's a nice supported Setu Bandhasana, supported bridge pose. The knees can stay bent with the feet slightly wider, knees knocking towards the center. You can also carefully step the feet to the top of the mat, lengthening the front of the hips, hip flexors and lower abdominal wall, receiving some stretch. If what you get is compression into the lumbar spine, into the low back, a couple ways to mitigate that. Either the knees stay bent, we decide to take the hips a little bit lower. You can also just move your props forward 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So at first, with the knees bent, it will feel like they're too far forward. But if you step the feet forward, you may notice that actually feels like it stops some of the pelvic tilt that's creating the compression sensation in your low back. Settle into that supported back bend. If it already feels like too much now, when we hold for time, it will definitely feel like too much. So set it up so that it feels like just that first edge of stretch. And breathe. Not judging it, but noticing where your attention has gone. Whether to a really specific physical point in the body, your mental states, and emotion. Bring a little more attention to the bottom of your inhale, filling up belly. Expanding that space across the lower abdominal wall. Last couple breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Carefully beginning to bend the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the floor. Press into the feet. Inhale, lift the hips up off your prop. Move them off to the side. Lay the spine down one vertebra at a time, really carefully. Once you've fully released, windshield wiper the knees to the right, to the left. Feel the massage in the outer hips, the low back, your SI joint. Couple different options. If you have a wall that's nearby, you get nice and close to the wall. Keep a blanket nearby if you know that you have tight hamstrings, because it might need to go underneath your sacrum. And getting nice and close to the wall, take the legs up the wall, watching out for stuff you might have hanging on the wall. For Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall posture. Better to have a little bend in the knees if you have tight hamstrings, than to have the spine really rounded and feel really uncomfortable in the spine with the legs up the wall. If you have a sandbag or something nearby, you can always put weight on your feet to weigh the feet down in this shape. If you don't have a wall available, you're unable to find a wall to put the legs up. Instead of using the wall, again, using a cushion, a blanket, block, you lift the hips up. The sacrum finds that same point, and you can lift the knees up. If the hamstrings have it in them, the feet can also lift up. Still Viparita Karani, just a modified variation without the wall. Choose the option that works best for you. Settle into your breath. Noticing where your attention has gone. Bring it back to your inhales and your exhales. And noticing how the feet feel. And give the toes a little wiggle. If you need a bit more time in this shape, you're really enjoying it, you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, the legs come back down nice and carefully. Make your way back onto your mats. Lie flat. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. Shavasana, corpse pose. Nothing else you have to worry about achieving or accomplishing. Your practice is already complete. And so are you. Start to come back to your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. Especially those first few cycles of breath, just acknowledging how the body feels. Energized, grounded. What shifted for you? As breath returns to your body, move your fingers, move your toes. Carefully turn your head side to side. Inhale, reach your fingertips to the space behind you, toes to the space in front of you, stretch it out. And exhale to soften. One more time, inhale to stretch. And exhale to soften. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Left palm to the belly. Roll to right side body. Pausing for a moment there. When you feel ready, taking your time, push into the left palm. Sit all the way up into any comfortable seated position, cross-legged or kneeling. Stacking the spine up tall. Closing the eyes. Acknowledge those subtle shifts over the course of your practice, whether they're physical, mental, or emotional. Place the left hand over the heart, right hand over the belly. And as you follow your breath in through your nose, out through your nose, feeling the space you've created today. Physical space, mental space, emotional space. We'll take one more breath together, fill all the way up. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Place your palms in prayer at heart center. Thumbs rest gently into the sternum. Revisiting your intention. Taking that with you off your mat into the rest of your day. Let's close our time to the sound of a single Om. Inhale. Bow your head. Thank you for being here to share this energy. Please take some of this with you off your mat to share with all the people you love. Namaste.
Namaste.